Nobody makes it inside this bar. Capiste?
We'll take care of it. Get them inside. Come on.
What's going on, everyone? In this video, we're stepping into the streets of Sicily with a review of Mafia: The Old Country, Hangar 13's latest in the mob franchise. And I've always loved the cinematography and pacing of these games. The storytelling is just off the charts. Now, while Mafia has always been able to tell a narrative exceptionally well in its 23-year history, I've always had issues with the quality of their gameplay. They've been passable at best, and this review is going to showcase how well the team has improved the gameplay with 9 years since the last entry of Mafia 3. So let's dive in.
Stick your nose where it does not belong again, and you just might lose it. Huh?
Set in early 1900 Sicily, you play as Enzo, a young man escaping slave labor in the sulfur mines partly run by the Spadaro crime family. After a few explosive moments, you end up joining the Torrisi crime family. The narrative embraces you like a warm hug, layered with loyalty, betrayal, and a forbidden love, all wrapped up in a performance so sharp it could slice through butter.
You tell your boss, my boy is under my protection. And if our truce is dishonored again, I will repay that offense.
The story isn't anything you haven't seen in a movie the past 25 years, but it's how they tell the story with subtle behaviors and mannerisms that grab a hold of you. The writing is exceptionally well done, making it easy to fall into Enzo's shoes where the Torrisi lifestyle sweeps him up like a current. The 10 to 12 hour campaign is a masterfully told crime drama, with every chapter building more and more tension while delivering emotional gut punches that have you gasping for air in moments throughout. Old Country could have been told in the movie theaters and I would have been just fine with it. Enzo's arc from desperate miner to conflicted mafioso feels raw and real, never glamorizing the violence, but also probing some deep moral questions by the end of the credits, like how do you know what to do when loyalty clashes with your own morals? The pacing is spot on, blending high-stakes action with lighthearted moments. Even though Enzo and the Torrisi family live a life of crime, you empathize with many of the characters as they each have their own internal struggles they deal with. Every session playing this game, I didn't want to put the controller down. I was just so sucked into the narrative, the characters, I just wanted to keep peeling the layers back further. The art direction in Old Country is an absolutely gorgeous upgrade from the previous entries. Sicily in the 1900s bursts with life, with golden vineyards, dusty trails, and stone villages weathered by time. Powered by Unreal Engine 5, the game's world is absolutely stunning, and the lighting hits the environment and the characters with just the right bounce. The fictional town of San Celeste hums with rustic charm and a backhand of mob mentality. The particular attention to detail in the eyes is remarkable. Eye detail is always extremely difficult to nail in games, and when it's done right, you just know. Also, the hand movements and gestures are so lifelike. Each character has their own unique mannerisms that really define that character in the environment. Whether you're galloping through olive groves or creeping through a moonlit villa, every frame feels like a Sicilian masterpiece.
Is this about Fontonella? You want money? Take anything! Guards! Guards!
The sound design and musical score in Old Country hit all the right notes. The orchestral soundtrack, with its soaring strings and pulsing levels of percussion, capture the era's drama, elevating shootouts, tense moments, and quiet family get-togethers perfectly. Ambient sounds like creaking carts, chirping cicadas, and the throaty growl of the many cars you can drive from the 1900s makes Sicily feel alive. Gunshots crack with some weight, even the reloading is on point, the sound design and music all fits perfectly with what you would expect to hear in this setting. The voice acting in Old Country is also pure cinema in every way, with perfect selections from each character you encounter. Don Torrisi steals the show with his groveling delivery dripping with raspy authority. Enzo's voice brings a raw vulnerability and rookie-like nature that grows on you over time. The supporting cast, from Cesare's fiery rants to the chilling and groveling voice of Tino, make you feel like you're watching a Scorsese film.
left.
Okay, so the gameplay mechanics for Old Country take the biggest hit, unfortunately. At its best moments, it's stale and repetitive, and at its worst, it's completely immersion breaking. In regards to the shooting, you've got your pistols, shotguns, rifles, and repeaters. In general, the guns are fairly weak with exception to the shotguns. It takes too many shots to drop the baddies here, even on a normal difficulty. It took me about 3/4 of the way into the game to realize that when you aim, you have to aim down sights for a second or two before accuracy is peak for shooting. Really? So I stuck with the shotguns for the remainder of the campaign. Not only do they pack the most power, but surprisingly they work well even at long range, which was kind of weird. I've had camera issues during combat, cover issues where enemies were able to shoot me through cover, I've had enemies take no damage at point blank range, all completely taking me out of the flow of this awesome story. Stealth takes up a good portion of the actual gameplay here, and it threads the line of being too easy to navigate through with environmental glitches that mar the experience. The cover system feels like a throwback to Mafia without the definitive edition, where Enzo sometimes refuses to stick to walls, enemy AI is stupid with pinpoint accuracy. The moment you remove yourself from cover, those bullets home in on you like heat seekers. Stealth is okay, but not realistic. Coin tosses easily distract the guards over and over again for very slow button mashy takedowns. And the AI's predictable nature makes it even more repetitive. Knife battles are the newest entry into the franchise, and they start off with some cinematic flair, with slow motion moments to your parries that add some tension to the fights. However, once you've experienced one knife fight, you've seen them all. The level of repetition here gets annoying fast, but the story element that drives the motivation for each of them make the fights a little bit more manageable. The instructions you're given to succeed in knife battles go out the window pretty fast and make the fights that much more cumbersome. Attacks I was told I could parry all of a sudden couldn't be parried anymore, and luckily these knife battles were easy enough. I don't think I died a single time throughout each knife fight, so it was all still manageable. Driving and horseback riding actually feel really good in Old Country. Transportation has never felt great in the previous titles, with exception to Mafia 3, but there's a very nice improvement here. Car races and chases have weight to them, and when driving really fast, it still feels like you're in control. Hitting the corners, the tight turns also feel pretty good. Horseback riding is also really fast when you can get going. I'm just not a fan of the Epona-like speed boosts. I wish there was just a stamina bar you could manage your speed from and call it a day. After 11 hours playing Old Country, I asked myself if I was having fun with this game. And to be perfectly honest, I wasn't. The narration and immaculate storytelling got me to the end of this game, but not one time did I feel like the gameplay enhanced my experience. It's something that has nagged at me for years, that we love this medium of gaming where we experience storytelling through gameplay, and yet we have franchises like Mafia that consistently lack in that gameplay factor, yet their storytelling is so top-notch. In 9 years, we couldn't get a polished improvement in gameplay, and it just felt like such a disappointment. You have a team in Hangar 13 that can tell stories so well. Why can they not in 9 years find some talent that can fully upgrade their gameplay design? Or collaborate with another team that does excel at gameplay? I mean, seriously, could you imagine the next Mafia title? Developed by both Hangar 13 and the Coalition, the team behind Gears of War? Their gameplay matches exactly what Mafia has been trying to do well for 23 years. Third-person, over-the-shoulder action combat with guns and a cover system. Took me 30 seconds to come up with that, and I would pay $70 for that collaboration in a heartbeat. I want teams like Hangar 13 to succeed and to continue making great games. Their superb storytelling deserves to have gameplay that complements it, 1-to-1, and they would be one of the best developers in the game right now, I promise you. Hangar 13, if you are somehow watching this video, please invest in your team and strengthen your weaknesses. Or team up with another dev team like the Coalition and have them help you take your next Mafia game to the next level. Don't let another 10 years go by and Mafia 3 still has better gameplay than any game you've put out. Those are my thoughts. Glad I got to experience Old Country, and I would recommend it cautiously to anyone knowing that the combat is still lackluster. But there's an amazing story being told here, and the $50 price tag isn't too big a pill to swallow for the production value the narrative brings. I hope you found some value out of this video, and if so, I would very much appreciate a like and subscribe from you to share this perspective with others. If you have any questions on anything around Mafia Old Country, please leave a comment below. Follow me on X where I share my thoughts on all things games, and I'll see you in the next video.
For your loyalty, this family will owe you a great debt.